Hey everybody, it's Sailor Nuggie. I'm still working on finding a good place to film in my apartment that has like a good background and good lighting. This is the best thing that I have for now. I used to have this cute little chair here, but I had to throw it away sadly. My dogs were chewing on it and they kind of destroyed it very sadly. But yeah, I feel like this was such a cozy space for filming. I'm working on maybe trying to get my game room as a good place to film, but anyway, what we're really here for today is I have a video that I thought up that I thought would be so fun to share with you guys. And I can't remember if this was requested on my feed somewhere when I made a post or if this is just something I thought up on my own. But I thought it would be fun to go through every single console that I own and pick my favorite game for that console. Really, it's just every platform that I own. So I guess that's like a better way to say this. So for example, I have a PS5 and that plays PS4 and 5 games. So I have chosen a PS4 game and a PS5 game. I also have a Nintendo DS, which plays GBA games. So I have a Game Boy Advance game for this video too. So yes, I haven't really made a video in a while. I do have plans to make another haul video very soon, which I'm really excited for because that has some really great games that I have picked up this month already. But it's still early in November, so I'm kind of waiting to see if I pick anything else up to film that, but be on the lookout for that video. And yeah, let's get into it. I always think about what order I should do these. Most of the games I own are like Sony. Most of them are PSP, PlayStation 2. I realized I forgot my PS1 game in there, so I need to go get that. Because of course my PS2 can play PS1 games, so I have a PS1 game to share with you guys. So I'm gonna start with the Nintendo games. I have a Nintendo Switch, but I honestly don't own that many games for it, and that's something that I need to work on, to be honest. But I feel like Nintendo Switch games are kind of expensive and I'm sort of cheap. And it's very rare that I'll buy a game on release personally. I usually wait for a sale, which is why I have a lot of games in my Steam library, of course. There's lots of ways to get those for cheap. Also, another factor I think that comes with the Nintendo Switch thing is that when I got my Nintendo Switch back in like what, 2018, 2019, something like that, I wasn't prioritizing physical games at that time, so I had no problem, which I still don't have a problem going to the Nintendo shop and picking up a game. But back then I really wasn't prioritizing physical games at that time. Like I don't even own Animal Crossing physically, which is like really sad in a way. I think that's a big reason too why I haven't gotten the Switch 2 yet. I do have a Switch game, but I feel like I want to disclose that before we get into the Nintendo things. But the first game that I'm going to show you for this series is my favorite Game Boy Advance game. I also find myself not buying that many Game Boy Advance games recently because most of the time when I buy a Game Boy Advance game, it's loose, which is fine, I don't mind. Due to the nature of the cartridge, it's like really easy to keep it safe. So I don't mind buying them loose, but I don't really have a great way to store them at the moment. Maybe I'll have to get some sort of like stand or something. But I just kind of been holding off on buying any loose games, and I've been prioritizing buying games that come with a case, or at least getting a case for them because it's just easier to store them. So nonetheless, I'm finally going to show you my GBA game for this video. My favorite GBA game that I own, Frogger's Adventure. This is such a great game. I love the Frogger games. They can be a little stressful. I love like the 2D original Frogger where you're trying to like cross the street, cross the water. They can be kind of hard. I mean, they're like, it's like a lot of games back in that time where like they were simple in concept and the graphics weren't intricate like they are today, but at the same time, like that doesn't mean that they weren't super challenging. So yeah, my favorite game is Frogger's Adventure. This is such a fun game to play on the GBA. I've been on the lookout for at least one Frogger game on PlayStation 1 because that's like how I first experienced it growing up on the PlayStation. I've been on the lookout for those. I've seen them. I haven't really taken the plunge to get one, but I'll be on the lookout. Yeah, let me know. Do you have a recommendation for a good Frogger, for other good Frogger games other than, I mean, there's like classic Frogger, like the first Frogger, but there's a lot of spin-offs and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my favorite game that I have for DS, and I don't think that this is an unpopular opinion. This is one of the most popular games for DS. If you ask anybody like if they had a Nintendo DS growing up, like what their favorite game is, I think a lot of people are gonna say this. So my favorite game is Nintendogs. If you've come to my Twitch channel, then you've probably heard me talk about my chihuahuas, slash maybe even seen them make an appearance. So when I found out Nintendogs had a Chihuahua and Friends version, I had to hop on it. Now, it doesn't just have chihuahuas, so if you haven't played Nintendogs, or maybe you don't remember, your memory's a little fuzzy on it, so the Nintendogs Chihuahua and Friends version comes with chihuahuas, German Shepherds, Boxers, Cocker Spaniels, Yorkshire Terriers, and what is this? Shetland Sheepdogs. So there's also a Labrador and Friends, and then I forget what the third one is. But each one has different dogs that you can adopt or have. And I think that the DS is just particularly special because you can like train your dog to come to your voice. And there's even other little things, like I was playing the Tinkerbell game and you like blow on the screen and it makes the game like respond and like the sparkles go everywhere. Like I think that's truly magical, and I could do a whole video on why I don't know, like that era of consoles was truly magical and special, and how I think they have like this charm to them that modern consoles don't always have, even though there are some really awesome modern games that are coming out. But yeah, I just think this is such a special game. I would love to see them come out with a Nintendogs game on a modern Switch console. That's not something they have. I mean, they came out with the Tamagotchi game, so I feel like it's possible, right? Like they could. Like, do you ever think the Switch would bring back a Nintendogs game? What do you think? I mean, they could bring it back in NSO, but in the meantime, at least we have the DS, so we can go back and we can play them now. I think it's just so fun. I wish that I had this game when I was like 10 years old or 13 years old. I would have spent all my time with my little virtual dog. I already love like the websites when you go and you play them for free. I play this from time to time, and I have a little chihuahua and we go on walks around the block. I've been teaching him little tricks and stuff, so yeah. Did you play Nintendogs when it came out? And which one did you play, if you remember? What kind of dog did you have? I would love to talk to people who played this in the time. Like, I feel like that is just a different experience. It's truly special, but it doesn't mean that I can't heal my inner child with Nintendogs today either. Okay, I had to go grab 2 games I forgot for this video. I had to grab my Nintendo Switch game, so I'm going to show you that one next. And I also grabbed a PlayStation 1 game. This isn't my favorite game ever for Nintendo Switch, even though it is a really, really, really great game, because I did pick it, right? I picked it for a reason. But honestly, like, because I own a lot of my games virtually, my favorite game that I've played on my Nintendo Switch was Pokemon Diamond, the remake. I think I'm just really partial to the 2D Pokemon games. I played Pokemon Scarlet. I thought it was just okay. It was a little mid. I played some Pokemon Arceus, but I didn't finish it. I don't know what it is about the new Pokemon games that I just can't like really commit myself to. I end up just dropping them. I don't really know why, to be honest. Pokemon CA looks like a lot of fun, but I just personally, I really love the 2D Pokemon games, and I think that there's just a new generation of Pokemon fans out here, and it's the new era of Pokemon, and that's something that I have to accept. And the fact of the matter is there's tons of old Pokemon games that are 2D, and who knows, maybe they'll come out with another 2D Pokemon game. But anyway, my favorite game that I played on Switch was Pokemon Diamond. Now, my favorite physical Nintendo Switch game that I own is Princess Peach Showtime. This may be surprising a lot of people. I feel like this game got a lot of unnecessary hate the time that it came out. I did get this as a birthday gift, and I played it and I absolutely loved it. Something I love about this game is that it's very accessible, in the sense of that literally a child could play it. Like, it's not made for children, which is something that I feel like was a misconception when it first came out. I think a lot of people thought, oh, this is for kids, it's easy, it's boring. But that's not necessarily true. If you want to be a completionist and you want a little bit of a challenge, you can try to collect all the items in each little scenic area, but you don't have to. And you can even give up your stars or some of your stars to finish the area if you just are having a hard time with it. And I have to say that I haven't really played a lot of Mario games, like a lot of Mario platformers, and I'm really not that good at them. I have skills in different games, but platforming is just not it's not my strongest skill. I also have Mario Wonder, and I do love that game too. That game was challenging. As you go on through that game, I was having a hard time with it, so I didn't finish it. But I really love Princess Peach Showtime. I think it's a great game. And regardless of gender, I think you could really enjoy this game. Princess Peach has so many really cute outfits. I think Ninja Peach may be my favorite, but also like the Baker Peach, whatever that's called, like it's a French word, patisserie, I don't know. The little Baker Peach, like that one's also a really cute one. And I think everybody should play Princess Peach Showtime. Okay, so I'm gonna show you now my favorite game for PlayStation 1, and this is actually one of my favorite games of all time. Some of you who know me pretty well may be able to guess what this is, but that would be Final Fantasy VIII. This does include everything. It includes the manual and all 4 discs. I actually played this for the first time. I played the remastered version on the Nintendo Switch, and this was the game that made me fall head over heels in love with Final Fantasy. It made me catch the love bug for it. I just loved it so much. I personally really loved the story. I thought it was so interesting, and then, you know, the more that I learned about the story, I was like, holy heck, this is a complex. The story gets so complex. The characters are really great. Do I think it's a perfect game that has no criticisms? No, I don't. I think that it's okay to like love a game 100% with all of your heart and also have criticisms of the game. I think everybody should play Final Fantasy VIII, honestly. The junctioning system is very different, but that's something that I really appreciate about Final Fantasy VIII. I feel like they really like went above and beyond of like trying a lot of new things. This is a very experimental game. It was the first game where they had singing in a Final Fantasy game. It was the first game that had a card game. I love Final Fantasy VIII so much. I would love to replay this game, maybe even like 100% it or something. I think that'd be really fun. I didn't play the card game personally when I played this first time. I tried, but I found it a little overwhelming considering it was my first Final Fantasy game ever. And this game specifically like really relies on a lot of knowledge of all the different magic abilities in the game. And I just found like learning so much. My brain just couldn't take learning the card game too. So if I replay this game, I definitely am going to play the card game. I would love to do that. I love card games in general. So it's not like it's not that I didn't like the card game, which a lot of people rave about Triple Triad and Final Fantasy VIII. It was just that my brain felt like it was a lot to take in with just trying to learn Final Fantasy. So now I feel like having more Final Fantasy experience under my belt, and now that I've played it once already, I would love to go back and do that. Okay, so for the next couple of consoles or platforms, I should say, I have a couple of honorable mentions because sometimes it's just really hard to pick just one game. So I did pick just one game for each of these platforms, consoles, but I also have an honorable mention, and you'll just see. So I have my favorite game for PS2. And let me tell you, this was a very difficult decision because the PlayStation 2 is my favorite console of all time. The PlayStation 1 was my first console, and I have so much nostalgia and like emotional connection for my childhood with just like really fond memories of playing the PlayStation 2. I feel like it made me fall in love with gaming, and it's like my foundation for gaming. Yeah, I mean, I love my PS5 too, don't get me wrong. Like, the PS5 is like a great console too, but I love my PS2. So picking my favorite game on this console is very difficult. But my personal favorite game for PS2 is Sims Bustin' Out. This was probably one of my most played games as a kid, and to me this game is timeless, and you can play it today and it's still so much fun. If someone is new into the Sims series and they've never played and they would like to get into it, I think The Sims 4 is a great option, especially now that it's free to play. And it's available on PlayStation and PC. But at the same time, if you have a PlayStation 2, I think Sims Bustin' Out is an amazing first Sims game because this one has like a true like end objective. There's a way to beat this game versus a lot of the other Sims games. Sims Urbs is very similar in this way. That's like another favorite of mine. I love that game. But a lot of them are very creative, which I don't mind. I love that, right? Like, that's something that's amazing about Sims. You kind of build your own story, build your own arc. There are different challenges in Sims games. Like, you can do rags to riches, or there's just so many. So if you want an end objective, you can make it your own. But it's not really built into the game. So Sims Bustin' Out has it built into the game. You start super poor and Mr. Landgrab or whatever his name is, he comes and takes all of your stuff with this like laser, and then you're trying to work up your career ladder. So that's honestly to this day one of my favorite ways to play Sims, is just try to get top of my career ladder. And I think that's because of Sims Bustin' Out. It like engraved that for me. But also, like I said, you can do that in the modern Sims games. And I love modern Sims, how they have the ability to mod the game. Like that's really cool. But I don't know, I find that there's so much in the there's so much like stuff in the game as it is that I've never felt the need to mod. But I love that it's an option. And also, like, even though the packs go on sale all the time, there's just so many of them, and it's kind of a cash grab. Not even kind of, it's a cash grab at this point. So I don't blame people for modding. I don't personally mod Sims. I don't really have the space in my computer for it, but Sims Bustin' Out is my favorite. Now I have to say that this is honorable mention. I also did not play this game on the original console the first time I played it, but I played it on my Twitch channel, and it made me ugly cry, and I love it so much. So I have to have an honorable mention. I do own Final Fantasy X for PlayStation 2. I'd love to do like a full playthrough on the original hardware. I haven't played 10-2, but I feel like this is like a GOAT for so many people. Like, gosh, look at the back. Yuna is so stunning, so beautiful, such a tragically beautiful story. Truly one of the best games I've ever played to this day, and I love it so much. That's my favorite. This is my second favorite. Plus now it has like a super nostalgic reason for it being my favorite, but also love Final Fantasy X. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you my favorite game for my PSP, which I absolutely love my PSP so much. It's actually my most played handheld, and something that I love about really my DS and my PSP is that they're truly portable and you can take them with you anywhere. So I do really love that, even though the discs for the PSP aren't as portable as like the DS and GBA cartridges, right? So with that, you know, it is what it is. But my personal favorite game that I own for PSP is Lumines, and I have raved about this game in other videos. I love, 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 love it. I was in a game store with my uncle. We love to just go to stores and like shop around sometimes, and he actually recommended this game to me. He was like, this was one of his favorite games for PSP, and he said he really loved it. I later found out that there is a second Lumines game for the PSP, and they actually have this, I guess it's like remastered or whatever. They have it kind of remade for the modern Switch. So if you don't have a PSP and you want to play Lumines, you can. And they're coming out with a new one. I don't remember when the release date for that game is, but I will definitely be getting it. I actually don't own this game for Switch, so I need to be on the lookout for that. But I did buy it, and I gave it to my uncle as a birthday present because he just raved about it and he didn't have it for Switch, so that was perfect. But I love Lumines. This one has such a 2000s feel to it that is so immersive, and it's basically like Tetris. It's kind of like Tetris, kind of like Candy Crush, if you will, where you have like blocks of squares of the same color and you're trying to line them up, and when you line them up they disappear and you're trying not to hit the top. So very Tetris-like, but it has like really good music, and there's just, I don't really know how to describe it without just, it's just hard to describe. But if you've played Lumines, then maybe you would understand what I mean. Like, this is like a better Tetris to me. To me, even though I love Tetris, like love, 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 love Tetris, like I love Lumines. It's my favorite. I love those types of games. I know they're not for everybody. And then an honorable mention, this is the reason this one can't be my favorite, because I actually didn't finish this one on the PSP, but I did start it. I was still in Act 1. I have Final Fantasy Tactics for PSP, War of the Lions version. I love this game, and I've been playing the remake on PlayStation 5 in my spare time. I'm now in Act 4, and to be honest, I was getting a little lost in the story, which is why I decided to hold off on finishing it, because I didn't want to like almost spoil myself, if that makes sense. Like, not fully feeling like I wasn't fully taking in what was being said. It's because it's like, it's not even, apparently it's not even as bad of a translation as the PS1 version, but it's like a Japanese to English translation that's also in this old English language. And the remake adds voice acting, and they have English accents, which gives it that, like, you know, old English feel, but the actual words are in a way that's easier for us to understand. And to me, the voice acting, I didn't even know that, right? Like when I was when I was playing this. I mean, I had pre-ordered Final Fantasy Tactics Remake, but I hadn't played it yet and heard there was gonna be voice acting, but I'm really happy that I made the decision to hold off and not finish it in this format, because experiencing the whole story for the first time through the remake has been an amazing experience, and I would love to go back and play this, especially since I already know the story, then I could focus more on the combat, and that would be really fun. The War of the Lions version does have an option where you can play online with your friends, which is really cool. Yeah, this is an amazing game, and if you haven't played it, if you have a PSP, you should get this, but I think everybody should play the remake. It's truly amazing, and they have difficulty options, so if you're weary of the turn-based strategy, if like tactical strategy is a genre that you don't have a lot of experience with and it overwhelms you or intimidates you, you can play on easy. There's no harm in that, right? Like, and especially once you get the hang of it, you can up the difficulty if you'd like. So everybody play Final Fantasy Tactics. That's the message. Okay, so I have one game that is my favorite for PlayStation 4, and this was kind of hard, but my personal favorite game that I've ever played on the PS4 is Nier Automata. I think it's technically Nier Automata, but I just have a hard time saying that. It doesn't feel natural, so I'm gonna say Automata anyway. This game is phenomenal. So good. It's not even that long. I feel like I finished it in like definitely under 40 hours. I didn't do all the side stuff, but this has an amazing story that just makes you think so much about humanity, even though they're like androids. It has like this like dystopian futuristic feel to it. It's just truly a masterpiece. It's so good. I did play Replicant first. So Nier Gestalt was like the first Nier that came out on PlayStation 3. And I haven't played that one, but they did make some changes with Nier Replicant, but that's like a modern way to play that story. Nier Gestalt, you're playing as the father of Yona, I believe her name is. I'm trying to remember, Yona, that's right. So you're playing as the father, and in Nier Replicant, you're playing as the brother. And Zach Aguilar actually voices the young Nier, the brother in that one. I don't know if I'm making sense if you haven't played the game, but just go play it, go experience it. If you have never played Nier Replicant, just be aware there are different endings. There are also different endings in Nier Automata. I've heard people say that they thought they were done with the game because they finished the first ending. Like, you get credits, but then you have to continue playing the game, which I think Nier Automata does a better job of telling you that, but I wouldn't have known that if a friend hadn't told me. So yeah, that's just something to be aware of. And also, if you play Nier Replicant, make sure you look up how to get all of the endings, because I can't imagine playing that game and not getting the final best ending. I feel like that like really gave me closure for the game, and it wouldn't have really hit me as hard if I didn't get all the endings. So that's an amazing game. Y'all should play both of them if you haven't already. Nier Automata, I really want to cosplay 2B. It's just a beautiful story, and I feel like it's left unfinished in my opinion, so I wonder if they'll come out with a sequel to this game. I think they totally could. Hopefully, one day, manifesting. Hopefully. So I only have 2 more games to show you because I have a favorite game for PS5. So this is my last like platform for this video. I have a favorite, and then I have a runner-up honorable mention. So my favorite game for PlayStation 5 is Persona 3 Reload. This is an amazing game. This game also made me ugly cry. Do you see a theme? I love games that make me cry. So I also love turn-based RPGs, but I also love some action. So sometimes I like to mix it up. Like, this is a great action game. This is a great turn-based game. I love Persona games in general. Persona 4 Golden was my favorite Persona game until I played Persona 3 Reload. This is amazing. I also never played Persona 3 until I played Reload. I haven't even opened this. I also have Persona 3 Portable, where you can play as the female protagonist, and it's not even opened. This was like a limited run, limited edition, like convention exclusive, and I like had to pick this up because I was like, I have to have this 100%. So it's not even opened. I'm gonna play it at some point, but I also did never finish the DLC for this one either. Part of what I love about Persona is like the balance of combat with like doing the social links and, you know, like going to the clubs and stuff. I don't know, like that gave balance to me, which made it fun. Where in the DLC, it's like pretty much just combat with some story. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, I still need to go back and finish it and play it because I'm sure it's really, really, really good. I just haven't. And Sometimes like when I finish a game, I'm ready to move on to something else, and then doing a DLC for it is just, I don't know, like I just have a hard time like doing a DLC. But I love Persona 3 Reload. This game made me absolutely ugly cry. I loved it so, so, so much. I can't wait for Persona 4 Revival. I'm definitely gonna play that. I haven't played through Persona 4 Golden since I played it when I was like 19 years old on the PS Vita, so I'm just really excited, and hopefully we get a Persona 6 one day. I also need to play Metaphor. I've heard good things about that one. And now I will show you my honorable mention, which will be the last game that I showed for this video. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now let me tell you, it is so hard to choose between this game and this game because they are absolutely both phenomenal games. I loved them both so, so, so much. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is like, I just see so much love was poured into that game from the developers. You can tell they love Final Fantasy VII, and they did so much justice. And I know part 3 is going to be even more amazing somehow, some way. And I don't want to say too much about it because if you haven't played it, I don't want to give you any spoilers or anything. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is amazing. I know that a lot of people complain about the length of this game, but the length really depends on how many trophies you want to get, how many side quests that you want to do. You don't have to do them all. So it really just, that's something I like about this game is it's like a not really create your own adventure, that's the wrong word. It's like create your own experience. So it can be as short or as long as you want it to be. And it really, of course, doing the side quests like benefit you, but not really to the same level that they did in Remake. Like I feel like doing the side quest was kind of essential in the Remake versus this one is just depending on how much of a completionist you are, and just depending, of course you get some like bonuses, you get levels, you know, you level up and all of that. But so yeah, this concludes my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a comment. I love talking to you guys in the comments. I have another video that will be coming out pretty soon. I'm going to be doing another video this month showing all the games I've gotten. I'm going to tell you I've gotten some amazing games I've already picked up, but I'm going to give it some more time and see if I go if I pick up anything else this month before I make that video. So be on the lookout. And I have some other ideas, maybe talking about why physical media is important, why I'm not really big on emulating. I feel like that would be something good to dive into. I do have more plans for this channel, and I just appreciate everybody who watches them, enjoys my content. And if, as always, if you have any requests or ideas or anything you would love to see, let me know. And I appreciate you and I hope you have the best day ever. Okay, bye!